Hello and welcome to Brimwood Farm, and I wanted to give you a little bit of a farming update. Now, of course, with the current situation, we don't know when lockdown is going to end in Britain. Some other countries are starting to relax it. We have no idea when it's going to happen. So in terms of moving to the farm, it's all up in the air, sadly. This past Saturday, I was supposed to have handed in my resignation. Obviously, our house is on the market, and we were looking to move mid-May. And now I doubt we're even going to be out of lockdown before mid-May, if I'm honest. So I'm just kind of trying to think about what we're going to do. Now, I don't want to moan because I have my health, I have my job. And so, while many people have been furloughed or have lost their jobs, I am lucky that I'm still being employed 5 days out of 7, so full time, still going to work, kidding, looking after all the animals. So that's kind of my breathing space, my good space. I get to go to work. So there are many people in a far worse situation. But I just want to explain to you guys what is going to happen with the farm. To be honest, the farm is okay. It was sat there for 2 decades without our interference, and it survived. So it'll be fine for a few more months. There are a few plants up there that are in pots and desperately need to be watered. But if, on a personal level, if the things that we lose are a few plants, then so be it. That's life. So in terms of what we're doing here, we're just kind of cracking on. So I'm going to do loads of quick crops for growing here, and I'm going to plant some stuff that I can then transplant to the farm if and when we finally get there. So rabbits are due in a week, which is really, really exciting. She is eating like, I don't know, some ravenous queen. So I definitely think she's pregnant. I haven't picked her up and palpated her just because she's not the friendliest of rabbits. Thane did 2 drop-offs, and so we're just hoping that we get some kits out of it. I don't want a vast number of kits for this first time. It would be kind of a nightmare situation actually if she ended up having 10 to 15 kits. I'd prefer her just to have 3 or 4 for a first time while we've got the space. So that would be ideal. So they are due in a week. In terms of gardening, the garden is a mess because I kind of prepped the garden in February for going onto the market and then did nothing. So, I haven't really planted any flowers, I haven't really weeded much. The past couple of weeks I've been manically busy with kidding, so I haven't had a chance to get out here at all. And these few days now, I've got a few days off, and they're my chance to get outside and do some weeding. But again, I'm not really inspired to put any flowers and things in. In fact, I've been removing flowers. So all the stuff that is in the borders that I want to take with me, I've been potting up and putting into pots, watering and growing on. So they're ready literally just to lift and take. In terms of vegetables, as I mentioned briefly, I'm doing some quick crops. So yesterday I have put in some radishes, and I'm going to put in some lettuces and carrots, things that turn around quite quickly. And some longer crops, I planted some chard, and I put some squash, some pumpkin and loads of tomatoes under my Mars grow light inside just to get them started. And then what the aim of the game is to do is to pot those up into small transplants and then keep them in pots, and hopefully we can take them to the farm with us. In terms of poultry and chickens, that kind of no hatch has totally gone out the window now. I was hatching a little bit just to reduce the number of chicks that we were going to take to farm, but now we don't know when that's going to happen, so I'm just progressing with this year as if we were staying. So I've got a lovely silky on eggs. We are going to breed, again, we want to breed that marshmallow colour into her, and we've also got this lovely rooster. He's called Brewster, and he is a cross. He's actually a Danver Silky cross, but I would like to breed his colour into some silkies. So we've got the Silky Boy, Barry Jr., and we've got Brewster down here. They are breeding with these white silkies with the toasty marshmallow, and then from those chicks I will start to select which I want to line breed. A, to breed the toasty silky colour into, and then B, to breed this other coloration into. Now, of course, my silkies aren't that silky. They're definitely nowhere near show standard. But the aim is just to get the colour in first, and then when the colour is in, I'm going to bring in probably a show silky standard cockerel, and then start crossing him, and hopefully we'll get some more fluffiness on the heads and some more pom-pom type silkies, how they should be. But that's going really well. So this silky is sitting on loads of eggs, and we'll see how those do. In the other Danver shed, I have my Belgian Bantams. I've separated them out, so they're in a breeding pair as well, and hopefully we'll get some pure Danver eggs. And then I'm on the hunt for some Ixworth eggs at the moment. The Ixworth eggs that I hatched last year all turned into cockerels. Now that is a breed that I want to establish a couple of flocks with. So I've got 4 cockerels. I've got Eddie, who's my major cockerel, and then I've got the 3 cockerels from last year. I am going to keep one of those cockerels. So they've got 2 non-related cockerels. So I've got 2 breeding lines basically, so I can cross with each other and get a really nice couple of healthy, strong flocks at the farm, because they are a rare breed, and going with our farm ethic and mantra, they are a local rare breed. So they were bred in Ixworth, hence the name, by Sir Reginald Appleyard. So we are going to be working on those, and I'm going to try and find some eggs to pair up with those boys too. The pheasants continue to lay, so we keep hatching out pheasants. We've got 3 little chicks and more in the incubator. I've got some wonderful khaki Campbell duck eggs in the incubator as well from one of my subscribers, Charlie Johns. She sent me some duck eggs, so we've got those in the incubator, and then of course some quail. So that's a quick update on life here at Brimwood, and kind of our plans on how they've changed and what we're doing. We are still going to the farm. However, it was always a risk going to the farm in May and trying to set up a market farm garden, because you'd have to plant everything in May or have some seedlings to transplant and then try and hit those farmers markets during the summer months. That is now completely out the window. So I think for 2020, our main aim will be getting to the farm, getting the market farm structure in, and growing some stuff just for ourselves and maybe the farm gate, and then looking at pushing it to farmers markets in 2021, because it's just going to be too stressful trying to get everything done in time and make any decent amount of money. I think I would prefer to hold back and do that in 2021. The same goes with livestock. We've got the chickens, we've got the rabbits. We will hopefully be there by September, October time. So I've already made a few contacts. I'm going to try and get some in-lamb ewes in, so that we can at least lamb in 2021 with some, I want to get some pedigree Wiltshire horns, and then also some Suffolks. So I'm probably looking at a small flock of 4 or 5, and if I can get them in lamb, hopefully they'll have singles or twins in them, and so we can kind of double the flock size at the beginning of spring next year. Cows, I think, are off till next year. Rehoming any horses and things till next year. So I think we're just looking at potentially goats, potentially some weaners, and potentially some sheep towards the end of the summer, and market farm garden 2021. But using this year and the remaining summer, whatever we have of it when we get there, as a kind of a test run, to see what the soil type is like, to see what the aspects and the growing conditions are like, and to get some quick turnaround crops. So again, I can still do salads, I can do spinach, I can do radishes. Hopefully I can take the tomatoes that I've got here with me and the gourds, so we can still get some stuff in. But yeah, it's very different to how we had envisaged, but we're not going to get down. We are just going to go with the flow and see what happens. So thank you for tuning in. I hope that has kind of answered some of the questions I've been asked on Facebook, and by messages as well, as to what is happening. Stay safe, stay inside if that's what you're being told to do. Let's hope this blows over as quickly as possible, and then we can all resume our lives. And I shall see you again very soon. Bye bye.